Hello and thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news tonight. The province is dropping the hammer on teachers and stirring up major controversy. Just moments ago, the government introduced legislation ordering teachers back to work after the NDP delayed the introduction of the bill this afternoon. Premier Daniel Smith wants it passed quickly, but the move may court even more Labour unrest. Kevin Green reports.
Premier Daniel Smith says the teacher strike has gone on long enough.
I know this has been an incredibly difficult start to the school year for students who've already experienced too many disruptions in their educational journeys. It has also been challenging for teachers who we all know want to be in the classroom doing what they love.
Those teachers are being ordered back to work. The government is using the notwithstanding clause to override teachers' right to collective bargaining.
The Premier often calls herself the most freedom-loving politician in Canada. And in the throne speech, we heard that she's making Alberta the freest jurisdiction in the country. You cannot do that while you're systematically stripping away people's rights. And sadly, that's what she's doing.
Additionally, there will be no mediation or arbitration. The province is imposing an agreement, the same agreement teachers rejected by almost 90% in September. If they don't head back to work, teachers face stiff fines,
with penalties of up to $500 a day for individuals participating in a legal strike action and up to $500,000 a day for organizations.
This is only the second time the province has ever invoked the notwithstanding clause and the first to end a labour action, but it's something constitutional experts expect to see more of.
I expect to see the notwithstanding clause used in labour negotiations where provincial governments expect the right to strike to be used in a strategic way against them.
Teachers are expected to be back in class Wednesday, ready to pick up where they left off. Calgarians we spoke to oppose the province forcing an end to negotiations.
Forcing them to accept a contract that they know, the province knows is not potentially good is just a mistake, I think.
I think parents and grandparents should stand up and start marching on the legislature and bind together and say, okay, well, you know what, Mrs. Premier, if you don't listen to the teachers, how about you listen to the parents and the grandparents?
And Kevin joins us now. Okay, Kevin, kids have been out for a while, so how are schools going to make up this lost educational time that students will need to recover as a result of this strike?
That's unclear at this point, Tara. The Premier says she wants kids back in class on Wednesday morning, teachers ready to teach then, but the province doesn't have a plan for how they'll make up any of that lost educational time. Instead, the Education Minister said that should be done by the individual school boards. Well, both of the school boards here in Calgary have just come through elections, so they haven't even had their first meetings since the election. The Calgary Catholic Board has one that was previously scheduled, an organizational meeting for this Wednesday. The Calgary Public School Board hasn't got a meeting on its agenda yet for its first get-together after the election, and this is a big issue for them to have to deal with. Back to you.
Okay, Kevin, thank you. Well, the leader of Alberta's largest labour group says a province-wide general strike is actively under consideration. Sean Fournette is following the reaction for us tonight. And Sean, the leader of the Alberta Federation of Labour, spoke just a short time ago.
Tara, Gil McGowan says if the UCP government invokes the notwithstanding clause as they plan to override court challenges as part of this back-to-work legislation, it would be unprecedented in Canadian history. And he says other unions are prepared to have an unprecedented response. McGowan is president of the AFL and chair of the Common Front, a group of even more unions. He says they will meet tomorrow morning to decide how to respond, with a news conference likely scheduled for Wednesday to announce measures to the public. McGowan says other unions are firmly on the side of teachers.
With these fines, the government is clearly trying to bully the teachers into compliance. They're trying to threaten them with bankruptcy as individuals. They're threatening the financial viability of the Alberta Teachers Association as an institution. But I just want to make it really clear that if the government puts a gun to the head of the teachers and they're not able to continue their strike, then we in the broader labour movement will stand where they're not able to.
So to reiterate, McGowan says a general strike has not been ruled out and remains an option under consideration. The Alberta Federation of Labour is an umbrella group representing 24 unions in the public and private sector that includes 175,000 Alberta workers. The Common Front includes 400,000 workers. Tara?
Okay, Sean, thank you. Let's return to our breaking news now. The president of the Alberta Teachers Association is now reacting to the introduction of back-to-work legislation. He spoke on the steps of the legislature shortly after the bill was introduced.
What you saw in there today was a travesty of our legislature. It's a travesty to our democracy. They're ramming through this bill in one evening so that they can put forward what they want to see. But they are not willing to have any further speculation around how to address the issues.
Schilling says it will take time for the ATA to analyze the bill, and then it will decide its next steps after that.